how did it feel the first time you went through the back door? When it comes to sex, aside from the main entrance, there are other ways to explore. Today, I want to talk to you about anal sex. Don't be so quick to scroll away. This isn't something to be ashamed of, but rather a genuine exploration of our bodies and desires. My journey with anal sex, from curiosity to giving it a try. My name is Xiaoya. I'm 25 years old, living in Chengdu, and I work as a freelance hairstylist. Like many ordinary girls, I didn't receive much sex education growing up. The first time I heard the term backdoor was in high school. At that time, my best friend Xiaoyu was in a relationship and she and her boyfriend had already reached a very open stage. Because she was worried about getting pregnant, Xiaoyu never allowed her boyfriend to go all the way during sex. Later, her boyfriend suggested taking the back door. Xiaoyu was really conflicted at the time and came to ask us, her close friends, for advice. My first reaction was, what? You can even do it that way? Oh my god, you're still underage. How can you even think about doing something like that? So I firmly stopped her from going through with it. But as for whether she and her boyfriend ever actually did it later on, I really don't know, and I was too embarrassed to ask. The first time I tried, I went from feeling nervous to feeling nothing at all. Time flew by and I ended up with a boyfriend too. His name was Aji and he was a programmer. Thanks to the influence of comics and adult videos, my knowledge base gradually expanded. One day, Aji suddenly suggested trying to use the back door. I felt a bit anxious at the time, but curiosity got the better of me, and I agreed. We did a lot of preparation for this adventure. A few days in advance, I avoided eating spicy or irritating foods, specifically bought lubricant, and made sure to clean myself thoroughly. To be honest, the first experience didn't feel good at all. In fact, there was no pleasure whatsoever. The whole process was filled with a sense of shame, and I felt like my entire body was being taken over. When Aji was moving in and out of my anus, I felt swelling and a burning pain. It was like a lump of stool constantly moving in and out of my intestines, except that nothing was actually coming out. Afterwards, my intestines felt very uncomfortable, as if I needed to have diarrhea but could only pass gas, an awkward sensation. However, the pain wasn't as intense as I had imagined. If pain had 10 levels, I think what I felt that time was at most a level 3. But Aji's experience was surprisingly good. He said the pleasure lasted a long time and even felt like he was floating in the air. The second attempt, from resistance to adaptation. After the first experience, Aji kept wanting to try again, but I didn't like the feeling at all, and even had a bit of an after effect. But I couldn't resist his persistent coaxing, so I eventually agreed. The second time, we did more preparation. Aji even specially bought an adult toy, a prostate massager. Although it was still a bit uncomfortable at first, this time my body seemed to have adapted somewhat. My intestines secreted fluid, which acted as a lubricant, and that panicked feeling from the first time was gone. Afterwards, my intestines didn't feel as uncomfortable as they did the first time. Although I still couldn't say I enjoyed it, at least I wasn't as resistant anymore. Gradually addicted, from adapting to enjoying. After a few more tries, my body gradually got used to the sensation, and I even started to get a little addicted. Sometimes, when I was home alone, I would use adult toys to explore the pleasure of anal play. The vibrating sensation felt really good to me. Although I haven't reached a state of real excitement yet, it has already sparked my interest in this method. It wasn't until recently that I truly realized I had genuinely come to like this unique way. The pleasure is completely different from regular sex. With regular sex, I usually don't sweat, but when it's anal, I end up shouting out loud and drenched in sweat. Afterwards, I even feel an unprecedented sense of relaxation, as if all my stress has been released. My best friend's story, from constipation to dependence. I have a close friend named Xiao Ting. After hearing about my experience, she also shared her own story with me. Xiao Ting had never tried anal before, mainly because she suffered from severe constipation. One time, while searching online for ways to treat constipation, she discovered that some people use anal stimulation to help with bowel movements. So she started trying to stimulate her anus with her finger, and to her surprise, it actually worked. Gradually, Xiao Ting became dependent on this method of relieving herself, and later, she and her boyfriend also started trying anal play. Although his motivation was initially for health reasons, he later began to enjoy the new and exciting experience. Overall, the pleasure of anal play lies in the sensation upon entry. The deeper you go, the weaker the feeling becomes. So the best approach is to enter, withdraw, and then enter again, rather than continuous thrusting. You'll find that the body can also become excited and secrete fluids, leading you to a different kind of climax. Although anal play isn't an area everyone has experience with, it can indeed add new excitement and pleasure to sex. Of course, this requires you and your partner to explore together. Step into that sensitive, blush-inducing, heart-racing new territory. Final advice, if you also want to try the back door, I have a few suggestions. Be thoroughly prepared. Avoid spicy or irritating foods for a few days beforehand, have lubricant ready, and make sure to clean thoroughly. Communication and trust. Communicate openly with your partner to ensure both of you are willing to try and that there is enough trust between you. Take it slow. Don't rush things. The first time might feel a bit uncomfortable, but over time, your body will gradually adapt. Pay attention to safety. Make sure to use condoms to prevent infections. Sex is an exploration of both body and mind, and anal play is just one of many ways to do that. No matter which way you choose, the most important thing is that both you and your partner find pleasure and satisfaction in it. So don't be afraid to try new things. You might just discover a whole new side of yourself.